Right now, it's kind of the calm before the next peak for Modern Warfare's activity, in which we don't have much to do right now except for some double XP and double weapon XP, which, as we discussed earlier in the week, is honestly a great thing to take advantage of if you haven't done so already, and if you haven't been jumping on, so you can hit rank 155 if you're not quite there yet, and to get things like the OG M4 blueprint for completing the ranks in this pre-season 1, if you will. But season 1 looms right around the corner, and we've got a lot to discuss about it in the coming days here. But while we round into the weekend, I thought it'd be helpful to discuss everything you need to know when it comes to the first season of Modern Warfare to fully prep for what's to come. Both information that you may have seen for yourself already and we may have discussed as just a general recap, but also some things you may not know, like how long this upcoming season will last and how much is coming on day 1 and things of the like. So let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you're a part of that 76% of viewers who are not subscribed, do be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing and to stay up to date with daily all things Modern Warfare and all things COD, especially with some early footage we have here coming on the channel over the weekend. But anyways, let's jump into it. Firstly, when does it start? Simple and sweet. Well, it kicks off on this Tuesday, December 3rd. My guess is likely 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for when the content goes live. It may be something that the update itself goes live at that time, but it also could possibly go earlier so as to allow players to, air quote, pre-download it. But that leads me to the second thing here with this, as the second piece is that we're going to get a title update here for this. Title update 1.10 is likely coming in order to prep all of that and, of course, house all the data, all the content coming within this and adding it to the game. So get ready to prep that internet connection, whether you have some blazing fast speeds and you don't really have to think too much of it, or if you have some slower internet and it may take some time to download this stuff, just make sure that you're aware of that. And of course, if you're on PlayStation 4, get ready to copy for a long time as well. As for the content, before I jump into this, I do want to preface this by saying that you want to be here on the channel tomorrow through Monday, because we're going to be dropping a ton of content that you guys won't want to miss. That including early footage of the new Ground War map, new 2v2 maps, Crash, and the Battle Pass in that order from tomorrow, Sunday, and Monday. So I'm super stoked to share all that with you guys, and make sure you guys stay here on the channel so you don't miss any of it. But anyways, the third thing to note is that, to my knowledge, not everything will be dropping as of Tuesday. What is showcased in the promo imagery that we got when Season 1 was officially announced was what was a preview for the entire first season of Modern Warfare, not just the initial launch. So when it comes to things like maps, I don't know if we'll get Shipment and Vacant on top of Crash Day 1. I don't know if we'll get Infected, Gunfight, and Reinforce all at once. I don't know if we'll get Bomb Squad, Grounded, Pitch Black, and Just Reward, along with the other and more listed Spec Ops missions all at once. We know that we have a basis of around every 2 weeks that we see content drop, and that's something that when talking with Joe Seacott at the studio earlier this week, the team was keen on keeping that up, making it seriously the most frequent content drops of all time when compared to the rest of the games in the franchise. So I would expect a comparative drop size to maybe a regular DLC pack at least on day 1, if not more, but at the very least around that DLC pack, perhaps again, just what we listed coming here on the channel over the course of the next few days as early content. That being 4 maps on day 1, and of course then the weaponry and the Battle Pass, but the rest of the content on the roadmap may be stuff that is dropped every 2 weeks in that interval. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that one, but again, just make sure that you don't expect everything, because personally, I don't think that everything will come from that poster that we saw. But again, that said, the content debuted with Season 1. Like we just mentioned, we did get a promo aspect of sorts in a kind of roadmap style for the inaugural season of Modern Warfare coming up, but there's a lot listed here, so a quick little recap here of what is introduced and what will be coming in either, again, one giant drop or over the next couple of weeks, are that of 6v6 maps of Crash, Vacant, and Shipment, Ground War maps of Port, 2v2 gunfight maps of Cargo and Atrium, as well as listed and more, MP modes of Reinforce, Gunfight, OSP, in which you have to pick up each individual item in Gunfight, as well as Infected, Spec Op experiences of Bomb Squad, Grounded, Pitch Black, Just Reward, and as well listed and more, new weapons of the Ram 7 and the Holger 26, and then we also saw from some of the Snapchat AR promo material, new operators coming, the likes of Mara and Nikto. So a decent Season 1 if you ask me in terms of new content coming. Sure, of course, this doesn't mention any of the issues players may have in terms of what we've talked about here on the channel many times so far, but in terms of actual just content coming, it's a decent bit. So that's something we can keep an eye out for. And as for rollout, when it all can go live, when it can all go public, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, again, is when I would expect it on the 3rd. That's my guesstimation. We don't know if that's when the update itself goes live. We don't know if that's whenever content can already be pre-installed, maybe say a day earlier and it just goes live at 10 a.m. But whatever it is, that time gate is likely going to be 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on Tuesday. But the nice part is this is, of course, all 100% free and all 100% for all players at the same time, regardless of platform. PlayStation 4, Xbox One, or PC, you get everything all at the same time. Again, we've talked about this here on the channel before, that Survival was seemingly that sacrifice in which Sony wanted something for the exclusivity deal, but in order to end up getting everything else all at the same time, that was kind of what had to be given over. So we don't see anything in terms of new survival maps or anything on this. I don't think that we'll get some new stuff here out of this for a little bit, but you'll get everything listed here all at the same time, regardless if it's the first drop here on Tuesday, whether that's 2 weeks later, 2 weeks following all of that, and all things considered. But PlayStation 4, Xbox One, PC, all at the same time. Then one thing that was also massive, which I don't think that I can actually legally talk about because I'm under NDA, because I have seen it, I have seen the actual contents, I have seen what's still to come, and we'll be talking about it really in depth on Monday. The Battle Pass actually was leaked as of yesterday or the day before. I can't remember off the top of my head which that was. I can leave the link down there in the description below here for you guys, but again, that's about as much as I can say of it because I have seen and played with the real thing so far. But that was out there and in the wild. One thing that will also be coming as of Tuesday is that of rank resets. So if you are 155, if you have gotten that OG variant for the M4, like we've talked about again, this is something that will then refresh back down to 56 to start season 1. I'm still very hopeful that the emblems for the officer challenges you get is actually then air quote your prestige emblem for the next season. I don't know if that will be the case. I'm kind of hoping that that is, but we don't have any information on it just yet. But if you have not done so already, take advantage of the double XP this week to try and get to 155 so you can get that exclusive weapon variant of the M4 OG, which turns it essentially into the M16. Even visibly, it looks like it. Do that. But if you haven't completed the enlisted ranks, if you're still, say, level 43, your rank won't do anything. That won't reset back down to level 1. The enlisted ranks, where you unlock everything in your creator class and all things that go along with it, that is independent of the seasonal ranks. The seasonal ranks are only 56 to 155, so those won't get reset. Still chug along if you're on those, but that's something that these will refresh down as of Tuesday. One also thing though is that as of Tuesday and the officer ranks, you'll end up getting a brand new 100 count of officer challenges. These are going to reset as well. If I were to guess, I'd say this still gives you a, say, tab or something like that where you can see what you completed, but if I'm not mistaken, it will lock up entirely so that the preseason that we're in right now, it won't allow you to work on any of those, but you'll still be working on, as you rank up, your season 1 challenges. So whenever you hit 56, you'll end up getting that first officer challenge. When you get to 155, you'll have all 100 unlocked, and each challenge in between that 1 and 100 will offer you different XP bonuses. It will task you with doing something different that you may not normally do, and of course, every 10 you get a brand new emblem at the bottom of that counter. And again, hopefully that to me is what is personally I'd like to see, that is your next prestige emblem for the next season. But give it some sort of weight and some sort of value instead of just being well, there's an emblem at the bottom of your screen. That's cool, right? I'm hoping it's more than that, but that is something that will be changing out on Tuesday as well. Additionally, with Season 1's kickoff, anything you end up getting for those preseason completionist challenges, that is something that you'll get those rewards on Tuesday. So it's said that you're going to get an animated emblem for completing all 100 challenges in the officer ranks in this preseason, and therefore, again, if you do it again next season, the season after, you'll get all that, but the rewards are delayed until the start of the next season. So if you completed all 100, you'll end up getting that emblem as of Tuesday. And the final thing I want to talk about today deals with the duration, because personally, while we see a lot of this stuff here coming at the first drop, we also may see a lot of this coming over time, and of course more being added in as a result. But how long of a window do we have here for this? If we don't get everything all up front, when can we expect expect this to be stretched out upon? How long of a window is there? Well, this isn't anything that is actually publicly stated or anything, but I did end up having a chance to chat with Joe Secott a little bit about the design intent for the season and everything that is coming up in terms of that window, and he said it was going to be relatively 2 months. Now, it's not a hard 2 months where you're going to have, say, 61, 62 days to complete the season, and that's where we see the refresh out. It's a guaranteed X amount of days. They ended up saying they wanted to have some relative freedom in case some things pop up, where they could extend, they could have it be that 2 month window exactly, but it is something that right around the time frame of 2 months is what we'll be working with here with Modern Warfare's first season, and of course the seasons to follow. As for if there's going to be a timer in game like how we saw with Black Ops 4 and the Operation Refresh, we don't know exactly just yet. That's something that I have no idea on, but it would be cool to see if, again, while right now pre-release it's relatively 2 months, if we do see that time frame in which we get accurately depicted and visually showcased for us so that we know, hey, I have this amount of time to get to 155 and get that exclusive blueprint. Hey, I have this amount of time to complete the battle pass. Hey, I have this amount of time to, and so on and so forth. You know what I mean? It's just something that helps out as a gamer to allot that time and to know when I have until when it ends. But relatively 2 months is that time period. That said, that is everything here that I want to talk about, and I think the big key portions here with it. If I missed something and you have any questions down there in the comment section down below in terms of the generals and things to expect for coming into Season 1, let me know your thoughts down there in the comment section down below. Is there anything in particular you guys are looking forward to here out of this? Any changes you're hoping to come with the title update on Tuesday? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, of course, if you guys are new to the channel and want to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare, again, especially as we have early content coming out throughout the weekend. Do be sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single thing regarding any of it. And of course, if you want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. I live on both those. If you guys want to strike up a conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's end out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. Mine is Nespresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.